Welcome to Destination Deanna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife, where I give my unique wife perspective and prepare professional women like you to become kept wives. So hit that subscribe button and let's start this love journey together. See you soon, my loves. Good afternoon. Welcome back to this week's coaching gem. I am Deanna, the Kept Wife Strategist, and on every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I bring you the coaching gem for your growing crown. So on Mondays, we tend to focus on dating, general information about relationships, love, marriage, all the things. And it is my sincerest desire that you will consider Destination Deanna as your self-help learning library for all things love. All right, so let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Stop settling. And I'm going to give you 3 steps to empower dating so that you can choose better, right? What a better topic. You know, it's Love Month. Valentine's Day is coming up. I want you to be equipped. So let's talk a little bit about my intention for today's episode, right? To put it plainly, ladies, I really hope that we are in the space where we're done making emotional investments in men that we should have left on red, right? This lesson is about learning how to maintain enough emotional distance to observe a man objectively, which is what you should be doing while you're dating, before you start envisioning those matching pajama sets. I'm on relax mode today, so don't mind me. But today we're talking empowered dating, where you make the choice instead of just being chosen. Now, let's be clear. You do want to be a man's choice, right? You do want that. But empowered dating is you also knowing that he should be your choice as well. It's mutual. Don't just go along because a man chooses you. Okay? So to be clear, what am I not doing, right? So we're setting the right stage here. Well, I'm not telling you to be cold, detached, or to play games. Remember, I don't do anything revolving around manipulation tactics, right? I'm a strategist. I do have strategies, but we do not manipulate here. This isn't like, let me make him chase me and pretend I don't care. We don't do that here. And I'm not saying that every man you date is automatically a bad option. I'm not saying that either. Some of y'all have met really good men, but fumbled it because you got attached too soon. So that's a part of what we're going to talk about today also. And finally, I'm not telling you to create impossible standards, right? This is just about having clarity, not fantasy. And I mean, if you're a Kepti, one of my clients, we rise to our standards, right? Our standards are ones that we're already meeting. We don't expect something from someone else that we don't already come with. So speaking of my Kepties, let me get started with experience, right? And I usually like to share with you either something from my own life or something that I've encountered as I've been supporting one of my clients. I've been a coach for a decade now, so I have lots of stories. Okay. This one client in particular, she was a highly successful woman, right? Very intelligent, but she kept finding herself when it came to dating and love. She kept finding herself in the same cycle, right? She'd meet a man, and if he showed even the basic amount of like consistency, she was all in. She would drop everything. She would move around her calendar. She would stop dating other people, everything, right? And she did this before she knew if he was worthy, right? She was making all these emotional deposits like she already had a return guarantee. What happened? Well, every time the relationship didn't pan out, she felt drained, she felt confused, she felt frustrated, she questioned herself. And she would even go as far as to say to me, like, they're leading me on. But what was the truth? The truth is that she had been attaching before properly assessing. Okay. Now we worked together and, I had to give it to her straight. And once she learned how to pace her emotions and make sure that she observed first, she completely transformed her dating life and dating experiences, right? She stopped falling for potential because you already know. You got to come already potential at this big age, right? She started evaluating based on real qualities. And surprise, she finally attracted a keeper who actually met her standards. So let that be motivation and inspiration for you, right? This woman started off totally on the wrong foot, doing dating completely wrong, and she was able to turn that around, right? So you can too. So let's get into it. If you take notes and note takers are money makers. Well, over here, I'm like, note takers are action makers, But those who take notes, they make it happen. So, hey, honey, I'm so glad you made it. I didn't think you was going to make it. Thank you, baby. My honey, front and center, my keeper husband. So let's go ahead and get into today's lesson, right? Ooh, hold on. Sorry. So today's lesson is actually going to be the 3 steps to empowered dating. And here's what I want you to consider. It's going to be 3 things, and I'll discuss them in detail, right? Number 1, you need to observe. Don't attach too soon. Observe. Watch, right? Most women start feeling before they've started seeing. Like they'll get a glimpse, a glimmer of hope, and they're all in, right? They get excited, they attach early, and then justify red flags instead of evaluating them. And this happens because they're emotionally attached. Now, a statistic I have is studies show that emotional attachments form within the first 6 to 8 weeks of consistent interaction, even before full compatibility is assessed. And this is from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. 6 to 8 weeks, y'all be done moved in with people at 6 to 8 weeks. Y'all be done had sex, y'all be done did everything, done gave them your codes, done acting like this is your person. 6 to 8 weeks. Need to rein it in and actually date. Actually do enough with these people to observe them. Observe how they think. Observe how they make decisions. Observe how they process information. Observe how they communicate. That way you can make a more informed decision about whether or not you want to commit to a person or even continue on dating to see if it's worth your time. So here's a perspective shift that I'd like for you to have in this particular area. instead of immediately seeing where you fit into his life, ask yourself if his life is even a place you want to be. Number 2, keep your emotional space until there's mutual commitment. So just because he's interested, that doesn't mean he's invested. And one of my classic videos, like what you need to see before you have sex with a man, you need to go watch that, because I talk about the things that you need to observe before you even go that far intimately with the man, before you even give yourself that way, right? So if you start giving like you're in a committed relationship before he even asks you for one, you're going to feel emotionally drained before you even have the commitment. Literally, that's putting the cart before the horse. We don't want to do that, right? And statistically, a Psychology Today report found that women who taste emotional intimacy have a 43% higher success rate in long-term relationship success. So women who are taking their time, women who are actually observing these men so that they can make informed decisions about whether or not they want to commit to these men, they are experiencing 43% higher success rate in long-term relationships. Those odds are pretty good. So slow it down. And the perspective shift here is, oh goodness, I can't believe I even have to say this, but don't ask, where is this going? You shouldn't ask it at all, honestly, but I guess, I'll leave that for my Kepties in the community where we break that all the way down. But you definitely don't want to ask it too soon, right? Just watch. You'll be able to see where things are going based on where they're going, right? Are things building? Are you spending more time with this person? Are they opening up to you emotionally? Are they letting you into their life? Are they telling you they want you there? Are they trying to occupy all of your space and your time? Observe what's happening. I don't understand really what is the goal with asking when so many women complain about men not being honest, them withholding information. You'll be able to see what he's really about if you just pay attention. Just be quiet and allow him to be. Then he will get comfortable. He will show you who he really is. And that's who you want to assess anyway. Not the representative that's going to have the prepared answers when you ask, right? You want to just observe in his natural habitat. Okay? So instead of asking that too soon, you really just want to let his actions tell you instead of trying to force a conversation, right? Just pay attention. And number 3, you want to date with standards, not urgency. Now, let's be clear about this, right? I know that some of us are, getting up there in age and these clocks start ticking and we start wanting to move things along, right? We feel like we've wasted time. But literally, when you rush things, you make poor decisions, right? When you're under duress, when you feel made to believe that you have to do something so quickly, when you don't have time to actually relax and observe everything and assess what's really going on, you're not going to make the best decisions, right? Many women actually, they also, and I have learned this firsthand, so not just in the research that I've done, but in the many couples that I've served and also the women that I've coached. Many women stay in situations that don't serve them because they're afraid of starting over. They feel they've invested so much in this relationship. This is actually like the foundation of my upcoming book, Break Up Now. one of the things I talk about in that book is how we will tell ourselves lies, right? I have to stay in this because I've invested so much. And you stay longer and longer, just prolonging the inevitable. So, yeah, let me just say, keeping a man who isn't for you, right? You're not compatible. You're not growing. You're not up leveling. You're not experiencing love, respect, abundance, fun, elevation, any of the things that come with healthy love. It's way more exhausting than being single. Single, you can do what you want, right? You can date who you want. You can do what makes you happy. You don't have to consider another person. Single is not bad. Single's amazing if you do it right. But I have so many women that think, having a piece of man, having some of a man, right? I'm trying to choose my words wisely. But having a man that's not even worth too much is better than being single. And it's just not true, right? Statistically, a survey from the Gottman Institute found that 81% of women in failing relationships admitted they saw early signs of incompatibility, but ignored them. You know why? They were emotionally invested. And it becomes hard to make decisions to leave or to stop something once you already start the emotional intimacy going. That's why you should be more reserved in the beginning so that you can just observe, right? Be reserved in what you're giving in regards to emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, all of that, so that you may observe. Okay. So that's the perspective shift, right? If you wouldn't hire him as a business partner, why are you giving him an executive position in your love life? Right? Because, people who follow me, you're here because you want marriage, right? You want the ultimate commitment, the ultimate partnership. And let me just tell you, a marriage, I'm not reducing it to a business, but successful marriages, they mirror businesses, how they're run, successful ones. They absolutely do, right? You have one CEO, right? You have one person that's leading, but then you may have the COO, right? That is also partnering in the decisions, right? Or they're managing the operations of everything, right? They're having weekly, monthly, quarterly meetings. They're discussing how things are going. Right? They work on their communication. They have goals. Listen, that's how successful marriages are run. So you need to have your standards and don't just be dating any old body. If you wouldn't hire them, if you wouldn't go into business with them, if you would not partner with them, if you have already seen red flags, you have already seen things that make you feel cautious, lean into that. Don't overlook that. And I'm sorry, I'm just ignoring. Yeah, number 3's on point. Absolutely, baby. So now what to ask yourself, right? What to ask yourself. And this is literally how you can self-reflect. You can look at where you are, where you want to go, right? You have to be able to self-reflect. And, all my Kepties were journalers, right? We know writing the vision, making it plain, putting pen to pad really makes a difference. So you can either ask yourself these questions and kind of just answer them out to yourself, or you can journal them. So listen, I have 3 questions for you. 1, do I allow myself enough time to observe a man before I attach emotionally? Do I allow myself enough time to observe a man before I attach emotionally? Number 2, am I choosing a partner based on my standards or my fears of starting over? Am I choosing a partner based on my standards or my fears of starting over? And number 3, am I auditioning for the role of wife, or am I conducting the casting? That's good. Am I auditioning for the role of wife, or am I conducting the casting? Now, listen, this was just, 3 steps. This is me trying to give you a small plan strategy that you can implement now, right? It doesn't take anything else beyond hearing these steps and implementing them. But let me be honest, there's always more. You can always go deeper. You can always take the lesson further. So I invite you, right? If this hit home and you're realizing that, like, maybe your dating habits need a little tweaking, right? This is exactly why I created a masterclass. It was called Vetting for Value, and it's an intentional dating masterclass. I literally go step by step. What's happening when you're meeting, what's happening when you're going on the date, what's happening when you're considering settling down and committing to this person. Everything is worked out for you. How you assess them, how you properly observe, what you should be looking for. I lay it all out so you are completely prepared to date with intention. But here's the thing. This masterclass has a lot of gems, has a lot of my personal stories, has really the full blueprint, right? And it's only available inside of my Love Attraction Premium Coaching Community. And if you've never heard me talk about that before, it's because it's kind of like secret society-esque, right? It's by invite only. I have curated this safe space where high-achieving, successful businesswomen, entrepreneurs are in there, and they are letting it loose, right? They're sharing their dating experiences. They are healing together. They are growing together. They're learning. They are making feminine their default. We talk about it all. So before I can let someone in, I have to know what you're about. I have to talk to you. I have to know where you're trying to go. I have to know if you're down with the Kepti. So what I'm going to say is your invitation is this, right? If you think you are ready to take things further, you want my access to my master classes, you want access to my monthly coaching love lesson that I give the ladies, my accountability call, all the things that I cover with them in my monthly membership. It's time for you to set up a guidance call. When you set up a guidance call, that's where you and I discuss where you are now and where you want to go. And I work with you to figure out a strategy. Okay, what limitations do we have to remove? What affirmations do I have to help you build? What are the strategic moves that you can make? Right? I give you all of that. So that is guaranteed. And then if there's synchronicity and we're feeling aligned, I will invite you into the community. And if I invite you into the community, the cost of the guidance call actually goes towards your membership. So it is literally win-win. Whether you go into the membership or not, you are leaving with an actual strategy to take you from where you are now to where you want to go. I'm going to help you with that. But if you want support along the way and we align, I'll invite you. So how do you set up your guidance call? Simple. You're either going to text or email my assistant, right? So that she can take a look at my calendar and see where we can fit you in. Right? So either send an email to keptiea@gmail.com or text 214-434-7897 and we'll get you hooked up. All right. So let me leave you with my coaching gem, right? And this is kind of the summary of the entire lesson, right? Literally, you're either choosing better or you're choosing to stay the same. It's literally up to you. So ladies, stop treating dating like a job interview where you're hoping to get it. You are the CEO of your love life. So act like it. Act like it. You want to observe. You want to keep your emotional space until there's mutual commitment. And you want to date with standards, not urgency. Nothing is more repelling than being desperate. So that was today's lesson. I don't see any questions. Oh, hold on. I do see a question. What if you feel like trauma is holding you back from believing you deserve a great love? That's very common. Thank you so much, Akila, for your question. That's very common. And I have not met a woman yet who has come to me that we did not have to deal with some sort of trauma, whether it was her childhood, whether it was relationship patterns, whether it was her limiting beliefs because of what she's seen, what she's been exposed to, or what she hasn't been able to see, so she doesn't believe it. The thing to do about that is start addressing it. Start addressing it. First, just look at your mindset. Look at the things that you believe. Look at the things that you say. Look at the things that you watch. Look at the people that you surround yourself with. Do you want more of that? Is what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, what you want? If not, odds are there's some sort of trauma bonding going on, right? So I would say start to acknowledge what has been holding you back, and you can work through that. I actually have some videos on healing, things that you can do to heal from your past traumas, and things to do to prepare you to be able to receive love. You can certainly start with those videos there. Or like I said, you're welcome to book a guidance call with me, and we'll talk more specifically about how you grew up, what you've experienced, and then we can talk about like an actual plan, like do this, this, and this, and then do this, this, and this. Okay. So thank you so much for your question. This has been a great lesson. I think it's going to have great replay value because it's really simple. But if you put these things into play, you're going to have a better dating experience. And I want that for you all. So please remember, God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide, right? And see you next week as I will provide more gems for your growing crown. All right. Bye.